5 years have already passed since this reviewer reviewed Fallout 4. Of course, back then, he narrated reviews as if he was narrating while running to catch a train. With the advent of the hugely successful Fallout TV show, which is reviewed on this channel, and the next generation update for the game, which is free to players who already owned the last generation version before the release of the update, it was time for this player to charge headlong into the nuclear desolated landscape of the wasteland. Not, of course, that this player actually needed any encouragement to return to the world of Fallout 4, as if you have watched any of the previous videos on Fallout on this channel, you will already be aware that this reviewer holds Fallout 4 to be one of the greatest games ever released. Yet, after nearly 10 years, the game was released on the 10th of November 2015, would the game still hold up? Would the next gen update make any significant difference? Often it is difficult to fully convey into words or even quantify why a person really likes something, and Fallout 4 is a game which either attracts you or repels you. There are those who adore it, such as myself, and others who really don't like it. As the director Todd Howard has explained in the past, Bethesda attempts to create unique tones for each of their games, even if those games are in the same series. Each Fallout game has its own tonal identity, which is particularly true of Fallout New Vegas, as it was developed by a different game studio, Obsidian. So even fans of the Fallout series can be divided over which Fallout games are great and which failed to hit the mark. What is also true is that although the games all share a lineage, they are all self-contained experiences in their own right. You don't have to have played Fallout 2 to play Fallout 3, or Fallout 3 to play Fallout 4, in order to understand exactly what is going on. After all, it isn't that complicated. The world has been ravaged by nuclear war, and your character emerges from the safety of a nuclear fallout shelter to face it. Fallout 4 for this reviewer is such an immersive experience. It is a masterfully blended tapestry of incredible design ideas, artistic vision led by lead artist Istvan Pelli, attention to detail, use of colour, lighting and shadows, a huge number of intriguing quest lines, the creation of which led by Emil Pagliarulo, all veiled over by one of the greatest game soundtracks ever made by Inon Zur. Add to this the ability to alter the game world in your own way via numerous areas to create settlements, the ability to craft and a solid role-playing levelling up and skill system, and the ability to alter the way your character looks, and you end up with a game which has many strings to its bow, or many teddy bears to its junk jet. The next generation update, as PC-owning YouTube reviewers have already pointed out, is largely for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S owners, who can now experience the game as high-end PC owners of the past have already experienced it. It does make a difference. This reviewer can only comment on the PlayStation 5 version. The best way of describing the difference is that everything seems clearer and more in focus. Yet what is actually more important, and PC owners do not emphasize, is the PlayStation 5 loading times. That custom hardware really makes a difference to the whole experience, especially if, like me, you become obsessed with creating settlements. A typical gameplay loop mid-game is to explore a new area, loot everything. By this point you most probably will have unlocked the ability to fast travel while over encumbered, then fast travel to Diamond City or Good Neighbor, sell a load of stuff, buy shipments of resources, and then fast travel to a settlement. In the past, the loading screens from all of the fast travelling would amount to 2 to 3 minutes depending on the distances travelled. Over the course of the entire game, this would amount to hours just spent in loading screens. Although there are still loading screens, the difference is night and day. The next gen update also adds a few new features, including the introduction of the Enclave, a faction from previous Fallout games, and some other additions. However, there is the sense that a little more could have been done. For example, expanding the areas of some of the settlements, such as the Slog, to allow additional building space and a revision of building limitations, which still can be overcome by using the weapon method. After almost a decade, and regardless of the update, Fallout 4 for this reviewer certainly does still hold up. In fact, replaying it again for at least the 15th time in its entirety has actually made me admire the game even more. This in spite of remembering such absurd details as where certain loot is placed in specific locations. Fallout 4 is one of the greatest immersive gaming experiences ever made.